Perfecto. Muy bien. La pregunta es, ¿se escuchará? Porque creo que no. Modo capturar ventana específica. Avatar. A ver. Fuera. Fuera. Se escuchan mucho los golpes del teclado. Qué bonito. Qué bonito. Realtek. Qué bonito. Creo que era el G. Realtek. Probablemente ahora empiece a escucharme doble. Creo que era el G. Realtek. Probablemente ahora empiece a escucharme doble. Perfecto. Muy bien. Ahora entonces voy a tener que abrir la transmisión desde mi celular. A ver. Bueno, todavía no está en público, así que nada. Podemos ir abriendo. Stanley Parable. Vamos a ponerlo en público. Hecho. Guardar. Bueno. Listo. Está en público. En lo que van... ¿Por qué? ¿Alguien me explica por qué la miniatura... ¿Estoy en vivo? Ah, ahí va. Bueno, ahora yo soy el único espectador. Me voy a dar like. Y como no tenía ganas de grabar, voy a hacer un directo. Y luego lo voy a editar. Qué astuto. Ciertamente. Un segundo. Ah, pero es lo que yo escucho. Voy a bajarlo un poquito. Audio, volumen de la música. Subtítulos desactivados. No me gusta tampoco. No puedo hacer esto un poco más grande. Bueno. En fin. Aquí estamos. Para el que quiera existir, estar o venir, lo estaré esperando. Mirando el directo por mi cuenta. Ay, creo que voy a poner el video en pantalla completa, chicos. A ver. Espero se siga escuchando. Espero se siga escuchando. Voy a calentar. Bueno, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están, cracks? Fieras, máquinas. Aquí estamos en un nuevo video para el canal Bardón. Sí, video. Es una especie de emisión en directo que de luego voy a editar. Así que vamos a jugar Stanley Parable. Espero les guste y nada. Comenzar partida. Volvemos al canal luego de año y pico o algo así. Saben, bueno, es igual. Nos vemos dentro luego de un año y pico comenzando un juego nuevo por año. Vamos a disfrutar de esta paradoja. Y nada, nos vemos en el gameplay. A ver, chicos, ahora sí, ya estamos en directo. Bueno, ya estábamos en directo hace tiempo. Comenzar partida. End is never the end. El final nunca es el final. Ok. Dice loading, cargando con mi voz tan sensual. ¿Cómo le han pasado? ¿Qué tal este verano? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo han sido vuestro año? Vuestro año. Que soy un español. Qué bien. Muy bien. ¿Está cargando? ¿O no? Es algo muy cuestionable. Ok, ahí está cargando. No sé si voy a prender el ventilador porque hace un calor importante. Se me está afuera. Igual no voy a abrir la ventana porque entran los ruidos. Espero no se escuche demasiado el ventilador mientras observamos esta pantalla en negro. Muy bien. Ahí, eso es. Muy bien. Click to skip.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Fuck. Espera, voy a poner subtítulos porque probablemente no estén entendiendo. Pero esta es la historia de un hombre que no sé qué iba a decir. Atrás, audio, subtítulos, normal, supongo, descriptivos, desactivado, normal, ok, atrás, reanudar partida, ahora sí. Oh, estoy jugando. Esta es la historia de un hombre. Esto es un ordenador muy viejo, una compu muy vieja. ¿Con qué se supone que interactúo? Ok, vale. 4.27. Vemos que... ¡Oh, Dios! A ver... Uy. Déjenme que voy a campo de visión. Avanzado, anti-aliasing. Detalle... Fuck, se cerró el Stanley. Ok, recuérdenme no hacer esas cosas en directo. Tranquilos, lo editaremos. Para eso existe la edición. Volvemos a entrar. Tranquilos, van a ver una pantalla en negro por un par de segundos. Volvemos a la pantalla de Galactic Café. A ver. Ok, vale. No importa. Lo que quería era esto, la sensibilidad. ¿En serio está tan baja? Si podemos no acelerar tantito, lo agradecería. Le vamos a bajarlo. Atrás. ¿Soy yo o hay un poquito de lentitud en esto. Bueno, volvemos a comenzar. Genial. Esto debe ser muy divertido de verlo en directo, chicos, por supuesto. ¿Cómo no? ¿Cómo no va a ser divertido? ¿Por qué no hablamos de alguna polémica? Bien, mientras vemos esta pantalla en negro podemos hablar de alguna polémica muy interesante. Oh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Esta es la historia de un hombre llamado Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number
Stanley trabajaba para una
427.
compañía de un área de edificio donde
Employee
el
number
empleado... Bueno, ahí lo dice,
427's
chicos.
job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427
Pulsaba
and he
botones en
pushed
un
buttons
teclado.
on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ok. Así empieza. Vale. Oh. Gracias a Dios. La sensibilidad era demasiado alta. A ver, ¿qué tenemos aquí? 429. Bueno, ¿entendieron, no? Más o menos. Este tipo estaba creado solamente para... Bueno, más que creado, había venido a hacer... a presionar teclas mientras se las daban por la cámara. Bueno, le daban órdenes y hacía esas cosas.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Todos sus compañeros
Stanley
habían
decided to go to the meeting
desaparecido.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ok.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, la apagué. Vale. ¿Puedo? Ah, puedo echarme. ¿Puedo meterme debajo? No, no puedo. ¿Y esto? ¿Qué dice? Está así a propósito. Oh, relaxes. All desire relaxes. Finding with the window. No, ¿qué dice? Kill. No. Ok, no termino de entender qué imprimieron ahí.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Está narrando lo que yo hago. Ok, vale, me cae bien. Quiero ver si dice algo. Veo que no. Ok, esto es una parte del edificio. Chicos, le voy a bajar los gráficos porque esto se está muriendo. Ok, vale. No sé si haga alguna diferencia, pero... ¿qué se supone que debería hacer? Dios. Oh. Username access. No. Ok, voy a apagar todas las computadoras. Está todo hecho un desastre. Así que tiene pinta de que pasó algo. Qué horrible que todos los lugares sean iguales, no hay nada. Ok, sigamos. ¿Qué? Ok, ahí vamos. Ahí se acomodó el juego. Perfecto. Fuck. I hate Monday. Odio el lunes. Vale. Dios. Como que carga y luego ya... ok, sigamos. Dos
When
puertas.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Stanley se encontró con 2 puertas. Y entró a la puerta izquierda. Yo creo que el 95% de la gente en YouTube habrá entrado a la derecha. Otra parte habrá entrado a la izquierda. ¿Qué debería hacer? Caminar hacia la pared. En medio. Estoy seguro. ¿No hay nada? No. ¿Y si doy media...? Ah. Se cerró la puerta. Ok, voy a entrar a la derecha.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Fuck. Ahí va. Ok, vamos a la sala de empleados. Solamente para admirarla. Cada vez que paso una puerta...
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Aquí no parece que haya habido ningún...
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Dame una gaseosa. No puedo. ¿Qué pasa con las persianas?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Claro, todos se
But
fueron
at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Ok, narrador. Abierta a la izquierda. ¿Y esta puerta? ¿Qué? Fuck. Ok, vale. Entramos por aquí. Te voy a hacer caso, narrador.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ok, vale, ¿qué es esto? Puedo bajar. Supongo que... ¿Por qué me hacen esto? Quiero bajar. Igual tal vez no es la mejor opción. Vamos a la sala de reuniones a ver qué pasó.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
¿Cómo resolver una disputa con un compañero? Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. No alterar antes de consultar con el con el manager de la pizarra blanca. Ok, a ver, ¿qué dice? Meeting room. Meeting schedule. Schedule. ¿Cómo se pronuncia eso? ¿Qué dice aquí? Target. Push for... get Chris out of the broom closet. ¿Qué? Not efficient. The future was Saturday. Tomorrow is now. El futuro fue ayer. El hoy es ahora. No, el mañana es ahora. Complete today. Finish. Employee. Gym. Como que da lagazos. Como que le cuesta cargar. Sinner high core value expenditure. Solving interpersonal conflict. What are your dreams for the future? Success. Plant life. Plantar vida. Profit, profit, profit. Profit, profit. Ok. A ver qué tenemos. Post review. Teenagers. Adolescentes. ¿Por qué? Choose something in the bin ideas. No more bin. Trash can. Tira algo a la papelera de ideas. Work harder. Hard worker. Ay, Dios. Trabaja duro. Trabajador duro. Everyone is unique. You must all. Todos son únicos. Tú más que nadie. Wow. Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
¿Por qué dices que no hay nada acá?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
¿Por qué dices eso? Hay algo, ¿verdad?
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet play. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
¿Qué pasa si camino hacia abajo? Wow. Fire hose. Ok, vamos a la sala del jefe. No me gusta esta zona. Me da miedito. Al menos hay luz. Me recuerda a Backrooms esto. Ok. La habitación del jefe es bastante imponente. Executive Bathroom. Oh, no puedo entrar al baño del ejecutivo. Qué extraño. ¿Qué es eso? No tengo inventario, nada. Impresionante. Ok, sigamos a ver qué tenemos.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
2, 28, 45. No, no sirve, ¿verdad? Ah, aquí.
2845.
Vale, tranquilo. 28, 45.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Esto es peor todavía. Ahora hay un solo camino y no puedo elegir. Perfecto. Por supuesto. Bajemos. Claro que sí, bajemos por el ascensor de servicio que estaba en una puerta escondida en la sala de mi jefe. Es una excelente idea, Stanley. Una muy buena idea, ¿verdad? Ay, Jesus Cristo. Veamos qué sigue.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
No hay una linterna. Basta. No.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Perfecto. Las instalaciones de control mental. Escape. ¿A quién carajos le hago caso? ¿Al cartel que dice Escape? ¿O entro al lugar este de control mental? Me da curiosidad qué quiere decir qué nos quiere decir la persona esta. De Tin Marín de Dopingüe Bucaramácara fue. Ok, a la verga todo.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Mi violenta muerte. Ok, veamos qué muerte.
The door
horrenda.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Lo siento, el azar
At
decidió
this
por mí.
point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
¿Cuántas veces he tenido la oportunidad de confrontar mi propia muerte? Wow. ¿Qué es eso? Ok, vale. Volvamos. No voy a saltar por ahí. O debería. Ok, piensa, Juan. ¿Qué harías? ¿Qué harías? ¿Le haces caso a un narrador que hay en tu mente? Podría estar loco. Entonces... pero si perdí la cordura lo suficiente como para escuchar a un narrador en mi cabeza, ver las palabras de escape puede que no sea la mejor solución. Y si sigo al narrador, tal vez estoy en coma y hay una persona diciéndome qué hacer. Sí, eso tendría sentido. Por supuesto. Es más, tendría sentido estar en alguna especie de sueño lúcido en el que, pues, al estar en coma, pues hay alguien guiándome desde afuera. Claro, makes me sense.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Claro que sí. Tengo mucho por vivir. Cuando prendan las luces voy a ver algo que no me va a gustar, ¿verdad?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ok, veamos que los horribles secretos que esconden estas televisiones. Otro botón. Ah, son cámaras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
La vida de cada uno de ellos, pero no hay nadie. ¿Por qué estoy solo yo? Esa es la pregunta. Esa es la gran pregunta. Bueno, supongo que eso es lo que nos van a mostrar, ¿verdad?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
¿Por qué tengo que creerte?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Dale, deja de pasearme, hermano.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Offline. Espera, ¿esto corresponde a una persona? ¿Qué es esto? Consola deshabilitada. Offline. Ok, están todos offline, por lo que veo. Facility Power. Oh, ¿y esto? Supongo que debo darle... My controls idle, awaiting input. Ok, esperando una entrada. ¿Eso en qué código está escrito?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Tendré que haberle dado a on. Quería hacer lo contrario a lo que él me decía. What happened now? Pantalla en negro.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking. but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Ok. Veamos qué hay más allá de esto.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
The end. Complete. Ok, chicos, muchas gracias por haber venido y hemos terminado el juego. ¡Qué buen directo! Ah, Dios. ¿Qué rayos? Supongo que no. Vamos a hacer otra run. Oh, nos largan directamente aquí. A ver.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Supongo que ahora la idea es... Input receive. Ok. Espera, me da curiosidad una cosa.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ok, vamos a hacer un camino distinto esta vez. Supongo que la idea es ir viendo los distintos finales, así que haremos eso, supongo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
Vamos a
doors,
entrar a la
he
izquierda
entered
esta
the
vez.
door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ok.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief, Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself
¿Qué
sooner.
rayos?
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply
Por
deceiving
supuesto,
himself,
esto no es en lo
believing that
absoluto un
if he's
sueño.
asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
A
Stanley
ver,
is
señor,
as awake
necesito,
right
¿puede
now
callarse?
as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Shut up.
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
No sé si eres normal.
Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Nope.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
12B4.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What? Bien. Perfecto. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Y dice, the end is never, the end is never, the end is never. The end is never. Ok, a ver, apagamos esto. Input receive. Apagamos esto. Perfecto, todo apagado. Continuemos. Ahora vamos a
When
entrar a la
Stanley came to a
derecha.
set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Creo que una vez que completemos el input ese, tal vez logremos algo.
Yes, this room.
Así que nos deben quedar
What a beautiful room.
3 runs más.
What a gorgeous,
let's
gorgeous
run,
room.
perra.
Thank goodness, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ok, acá tengo dos opciones. O entro por aquí o entro por aquí y bajo. Creo que voy a entrar por aquí.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
No mientas. Si estás mintiendo ahora, para. Ok. Vale. Me retracto. No miento. A ver. What is this? A ver. Do not jump from the cargo. Leave while it's in motion. Podría causar la muerte. Por supuesto. ¿Y qué hago? ¿Me subo? Sí, esto ya está cerrado, así que bueno, somos, ¿no? Total. ¿Cuál hay?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Mira, no estoy pidiéndolo para mí, me refiero a ella.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Ella ha estado esperando.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Ok. Tenemos el bendito teléfono.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
¿Y si me voy para allí?
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Fuck. Ok, esto se puso más turbio. Ok, narrador. Vamos a poner las cosas como corresponde. Tú eres el narrador y yo soy el jugador. ¿Se entiende? Perfecto. Entonces más te vale que hagas las cosas como corresponde.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Presione 8 en su teclado. Y si presiono 3, 7, 9.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Por favor, presione N. Y si no presiono N, perra. Vamos, inténtalo. Mátame, narrador. No voy a presionar N. No voy a hacerlo. Oblígame. Se apretaba una tecla sola. ¿Cómo? No, señor. No voy a hacerlo. Tiene que haber alguna forma. Vamos. Por favor, presione N. No quiero. Dime que hay algo. Bueno, siempre podemos tocar, digo, nada. A ver. De verdad tengo que presionar N, si no el juego no va a avanzar.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Presiona 1 para mirar la TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Presione G para pasar tiempo con los muchachos.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Presiona 2 para preparar la cena.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Perfecto. Presione Q para ir a dormir.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Ok, ¿y cuánto tiempo se supone que debo esperar? Bien, no lo hagamos. Es un quartz ese reloj. Son como demasiado... Los he visto en todos lados a los quartz. Quartz. Hola, señor. ¿Cómo está? Na 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 na. Eran 3 alpinos que venían de la guerra. Eran 3 alpinos que venían de la guerra. Y ahí rataplan. Y ahí rataplan. Y ahí rataplan. Eran 3 alpinos que venían de la guerra. El más chiquitito traía un ramo de flores. El más chiquitito traía un ramo de flores. Y ahí rataplan. Y ahí rataplan. Traía un ramo de flores. En la ventana había una princesa. En la ventana. Uy. Rayos. Denme un segundo porque tengo activado acá una cosa que... podría, a ver, salir de aquí. Salir de aquí. Salir. Ok, denme un segundo que se está acomodando la pantalla. Ok. Wait me a second. Ahí vamos. No. O sí. Perfecto. Muy bien. Quiero entrar al Stanley Parable. Por favor. Por favor, presione 1 para estar en el trabajo por la mañana. Te dije que no. ¡Ah! No me deja hacer nada. ¿Me vas a desesperar así, juego? ¿Me vas a obligar a no seguirle el juego al bendito narrador? Por favor. Tiene que haber algo.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I
No podía hacer nada. Simplemente fue un por favor, muera. Oh. Esta vez es distinto.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Siempre fuimos el 427 porque no recuerdo en este momento. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Por supuesto. A ver.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Aún nos queda una puerta por revisar aquí. Y podemos bajar acá. Así que creo que vamos a terminar de revisar esta puerta y vamos a saltar al...
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ah, mira, ahí hay una puerta allá abajo. Pero quiero saltar a esta
Stanley,
puerta.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Jesus Cristo, narrador. Let's see. Veamos. 2v3. 2v5. 2v4.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
¿Por qué? Ok. Piensa. Hasta hace un rato creo que él estaba haciendo lo más sincero que podía hacer, pero... Hacerle caso al narrador o ir en su contra. Empezamos el juego haciéndole no caso al narrador, así que hagámosle caso al narrador por una vez en la vida. Creo que puede ser bueno para ambos. Let's try again. Veamos.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Ok. ¿Tiene una solución?
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Whoa.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
¿Qué creen que pase si me quedo mirando? ¿Pasará algo? ¿Y si me tiro? No, no puedo. Bueno, vamos a bajar, lo siento. Cool. Wow.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Ok, vuelvo.
Right. Where were we?
Ay, veamos qué pasa si me quedo. Ok. Las luces verdes. ¿Están subiendo? Sí. Ay, ¿sabes qué? Soy demasiado impaciente. Ok.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
¿Perderemos todo esto? ¿Qué? ¿Quién eres exactamente? ¿Qué quieres de mí? ¿Cuál es nuestra relación, narrador?
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Ok. Tengo poca batería en el mouse, así que rayos. Está funcionando medianamente bien. Supongamos que vuelvo a tu lugar maravilloso y yo qué sé.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
Tienes un minuto exactamente para mostrarme lo que sea que quieras mostrarme, así que apúrate, narrador. ¿Qué quieres mostrarme aquí? Mira que me voy a la escalera, ¿eh? Es raro, el clic suena como si estuviera dándole a un teclado. Tal vez... Ok. ¿Se termina esto? Se está acabando tu minuto, mi querido amigo. Se está acabando. Otra vez las estrellas. Esto se va a repetir indefinidamente, ¿verdad? Lo Lo siento, narrador, necesito ver qué hay más allá.
No! What did we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Lo siento.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you?
Ay, narrador.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Ok, el razonamiento de qué estoy haciendo. ¿Sabes qué? Me da igual.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
No. I will die. Narrador.
No. No, no. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Porque necesitamos otra solución. ¿Ok? Creo que de veras quieres ayudarme, pero... en estos momentos me siento muy triste.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Ok, a ver, veamos qué pasa si vuelvo. Un dibujo.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Me voy. Adiós.
No, perhaps not.
Tienes que entenderlo, tal vez no seamos felices ahí. Mira, no sé quién eres.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
No. Solo quiero seguir.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. I guess that was too much to
me hace
ask.
sentir muy mal
It looks like you
esto.
wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Fuck. Sea lo que sea, me hace sentir muy mal.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Entonces estás ligado a las acciones que yo hago, pero... Oh, el ordenador... No está la computadora que decía... Esperando input. Ok. Bien. Veamos. Nos queda una puerta
When
más
Stanley
todavía
came
por
to a
ver.
set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley
Nos
knew
quedan
it
varias
perfectly
puertas por
well.
ver, de
Perhaps he
hecho.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Veamos. Si hubiera alguien
Standing
en
now in this
directo,
incredible room,
sería
Stanley
bastante
for the
genial,
first
porque
time
diría, oye,
understood
entra
true
por aquí.
happiness.
Pero pues no.
Then
no
the
hay
feeling went
nadie.
away, and he felt sad again.
Da
Then it
igual.
came back, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. Esta vez me voy a
Stanley
tirar
was so bad at
directamente.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and
Fuck.
plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Ah, fuck. Let's try again.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Esta vez el inicio fue distinto. Pero no está la computadora que dice esperando input. Ah, sigamos.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
Veamos.
just to admire it.
Vamos a hacer
Stanley
lo
felt
siguiente.
lightheaded,
Vamos
butterflies
a
in his stomach,
subirnos
but eager to get back to
montacargas.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Creo que es no es montacargas porque son las máquinas esas.
Stanley was so bad at following directions,
bueno, la
it's
grúa.
incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Tal vez puedo tirarme a alguno de los autos. Bueno, supongamos...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not
Me voy a ir por acá y voy a
sure.
subir a la... Voy a entrar
I
en vez de la
realize that
puerta roja a
investing
la
in your
verde.
trust in someone else
sí,
can
verde
be
era.
difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all the... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Por la puerta red.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red
¿Saben? Me acabo de dar
door.
cuenta. Disculpen que esto lo diga ahora. Yo juego... me van a matar. Bueno, ya saben, creo. Juego Genshin.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Es la voz de... me recuerda la voz de Newbillet en Genshin.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Entro... Si entro por acá... demasiados caminos. ¿Qué hago? Oh, las texturas. Supongamos que entro por aquí. Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable, Worldwide Leather. Wood O'Neill is offline. Cool. ¿Será esto cierto? Did you know? Danger sequence. You. No, esto es definitivamente algo. Entremos por esto.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay. Oh.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Fuck. Ah, maldita sea. Bien. Muy bien, perfecto. El ruido es absolutamente ideal. ¿Qué se supone que me voy a quedar aquí haciendo esto? De veras, en serio. Cuatro horas las pelotas. ¡Ah, no puedo! ¡Ah! Bien. Ajá, no tengo que ver esto.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Perfecto. Ahora es cuando me ponen un RPG.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this,
no
Stanley.
puedo saltar.
I'm going to build a house.
¿Dónde la está
This will
construyendo?
go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy.
Mi insuficiencia será la tuya.
You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Por supuesto, mátame de una buena vez. Okay.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Ok. Vamos a minar. Vamos a la playa. Oh, oh. Vamos a la playa. Oh, oh.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No puedo saltar. Rayos. Esto es horrible. Me recuerda a Made in Abyss. ¿Alguien vio Made in Abyss?
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
New game. Ey, te puse un 4. No un 5. ¿Acaso vos sos pelotudo o te haces? Qué bien. ¿Qué juego es ese?
Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You
Mortal!
trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Jódeme que configuraron un portal. Fuck. Dentro de un juego espectacular. Lo amo.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
El cubo.
Genius.
Por supuesto. Gracias.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty.
No.
I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough.
Ok. Filling cabinets. Fuck. No. Ok. 510. Quinto piso. Nosotros éramos el 200, así que... Ay, qué poco brillo. No veo un choto. ¿Ustedes ven algo? Denme un segundo. Porque si no... Campo de visión. Modo de pantalla. Campo de visión. ¿No hay brillo? Ok. Qué bien. Por supuesto. No se supone que debería estar por aquí, ¿verdad? Las dos puertas. ¡Luz! Mira eso. Veamos qué hay más allá del infinito. Claro que sí. Y supongo que esta era mi estación de trabajo. ¿O no? No puedo seguir avanzando desde aquí. Así que... elijamos la otra puerta. ¿Por qué no? Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Perfecto. Muy bien. Puedes esperar. Let me see. Otra vez en la oficina. Ya pasó como 1 hora y pico, chicos. 1 hora y 27 exactamente.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Oh, volvimos al... Ok. The end, the end. Apagamos. ¿Estará acá el del input? No. Rayos. Ok, veamos qué hay más allá de esto.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
Por
lounge
supuesto,
first,
¿saben
just
qué?
to
Ahora
admire
vamos
it.
a bajar.
The
Tengo
lounge
mucha
was
curiosidad.
grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Por supuesto. Loading. A ver qué nos espera más allá de esta
Stanley didn't want to
aventura.
go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Y no puedo ir a la derecha. Ok.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see.
Okay.
We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Yes. Why not? Oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Ah, me mandó arriba directamente. Ok, creo que... Bueno, 1 hora y media, chicos. La verdad ha sido
All
espectacular.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Supongo
decided
que
to go
nos
to the
queda
meeting
un
room.
par de
Perhaps he had
finales.
simply missed a memo.
Más que finales, el final en sí del juego, porque creo que todavía no hemos llegado. Pero podemos seguirlo en directo otro día. Voy a apagar las compus porque sí. Ok, apagado. Todo apagado, all is off. Permiso.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere?
No
or...
hice nada.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
¿Por qué por aquí no puedo ir? Ok. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. Ok, bien. Me iba a despedir, pero...
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Ok. Vale. ¿Por qué no?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Esta vez hay menos computadoras prendidas. ¿Significará algo? Hemos llegado una sola vez a cuando se ponen con toda la pantalla en negro y dice the end, the end, the end, the end. Ah, tengo que comprar pilas para el mouse. A ver. Sí, uso un mouse inalámbrico.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Volver. Pensé que había visto una persona, no sé por qué.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
¿Qué rayos?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Por supuesto.
Okay?
Sí, tienes
I'm
toda
getting
la razón
weirded
del
out by
mundo.
whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Espera. No creo que sea buena idea. Pero si tú lo decides. The Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
¿Eh? ¿Solitario? Vamos a seguir la línea porque me da curiosidad, simplemente por eso. Pero quiero apagar las computadoras primero. Ok, sigamos la línea. Ah, mouse. Dios, si este juego fuera de reacción estaría muerto ya. Se acomoda las
See,
cajas, por
the
supuesto.
line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a
Claro.
bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Un poco de música. Por supuesto. Maldita sea la música. Entonces se escucha la música.
cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Perfecto. Muy bien.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Si me dice algo, no tengo idea.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
¿Por qué? ¿Qué? ¿Qué he hecho? Todo es tu
You know
culpa.
what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ok. Veamos.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
¿Estás muy listo para ello? Por supuesto.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
¿Y si voy hacia el otro lado? ¿Y no le hago caso a la línea? ¿Creen que pase algo? Ok. Muy bien. Oh, volvemos aquí. Bien, entonces sigamos la bendita línea y terminemos con esto. Qué bonitas paredes, qué bonito techo. Ciertamente es muy bonito. Continuemos caminando por aquí, en la pacífica e increíbles oficinas de Stanley Parable. Mira qué hermosa ventana. Por supuesto, es muy hermosa de hecho. Y estas paredes, ¿quién las pintó? Seguramente debe haber sido alguien muy habilidoso. Y la línea, la verdad es que quien sea que la haya hecho ha tenido mucho pulso para hacerla, creo. Oh.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all Determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
Por supuesto.
Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't
Ahora te
do
sientes
it.
como yo, ¿verdad, narrador?
Time return stopped. Does that mean did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Se reinicia el juego. Por supuesto. Creo que lo podemos dejar por aquí hoy. Mañana podríamos continuarlo. Porque va a ser mucho que editar. Así que nada. Espero les haya gustado muchísimo. De Stanley Parable. La verdad es que me está gustando mucho. Es interesante. Así que para la gente que está en YouTube viéndonos en este momento, que soy yo mismo, nada, no olviden like, favoritos, suscríbanse y hasta la próxima. Chao, chao. Y ahora es momento de apagar la emisión en directo. Adiós. No podrás reconectar, tu transmisión se detendrá y ya no estarás en vivo. Es la idea.